Hello and welcome to the start of another week with Imo. It's about 5 to 10 in the morning. It's my last week at home before I go back to uni, although that said I have got a flute lesson one day which I arranged because I can, so why not? But other than that I'm at home, so I'm going to really try and capitalise on that and get as much done at home as I can before that all starts again, before the crazy starts again. I'm meeting my local gal pals for lunch today in a local cafe, so that I'm looking forward to that. I love having a good old catch up with those two. What else? Today I'm trying time blocking. I haven't really done time blocking since I home educated. I time blocked a lot in home educating. Time blocking is basically like, do you remember your old school timetables? It's like that kind of thing really. You have your timetable with these blocks of time. Like for example, I've got editing time for an hour and then a little break for 10 minutes and then flute practice for an hour and then a little break and then I don't know, whatever I've got, I can't remember off the top of my head. I've scheduled lunch in and I've scheduled in admin hour, you know, things like that. So I'm going to try that today and see how that makes me feel. So far, the emotional effect it's had on me is very stabilising and calming and makes me feel secure. I can change it at any time. It's in my iPad diary, so I can literally drag and drop them around if things aren't working out. So I'm going to go and crack on with the first thing now, which is editing, my editing hour. So I shall talk to you when I've done that. I'm going to go crack on. Right, I'm going to grab some beer while I'm here. And then we're going to go pay. That's that all edited so far. What I filmed on Saturday, that took me 34 minutes for about 8 minutes 13 left after I cut it out. It started out as 10 minutes. I forgot to schedule in breakfast. That was silly, wasn't it? So I'm going to make a bit of breakfast now, eat that, and then carry on with what I'm going to do next. I've had about a gazillion messages buzzing in while I've been doing that, but I've been managing to hold my curiosity, and I'm going to do that in a minute. Look at them when I'm eating my breakfast. It's so distracting, isn't it? That's the problem. When you've got a job and you've got rules about not looking at your phone, I suppose it must be easier not to, but when you're self-employed you've always got the temptation to have a quick sneaky look, and then it just takes your attention away from what you were doing, and it's hard to get back into that flow state again every single time, so I try not to when I'm working. Here's my creature of habit breakfast, my lentil cakes with butter and Marmite, well it's shop's own Marmite, and natural yoghurt, tiny bit of golden syrup stirred in for sweetness, so it's kind of sweeter than natural yoghurt but not as sweet as like sugary yoghurts that you buy. It's kind of in between. I've got fresh blueberries, fresh grapes and almonds on there. I have eaten breakfast, I have made a cup of tea. Now I'm going to go practice my flute for an hour and I'll speak to you on the other side. It's the other side. I'm actually going out in about 25 minutes because my gal pals meet is now a gal pal meet because one of them actually unfortunately couldn't come at the last minute. But we brought it a bit earlier to suit her schedule more. The other one couldn't have made earlier. So we're going to go earlier, therefore I'll be back earlier. So I'm just going to do a little bit of admin now and then come back and finish my admin off when I get back. I've got quite a long list of items. Most things are quickies, but one thing is a slightly longy. I've got to prove my student status to the Musicians Union because then I can get a discount on my annual subscription. It's expensive being in the Musicians Union, but with it, not only have you got them at the end of the phone or email if you've got a problem and you need some advice and support, but not only that, but you also get your public liability insurance through, I can't remember how much it was, but you get a certain amount of instrument insurance cover as well. So you don't really want to be uninsured for any amount of time just in case. So I'm going to try and sort that out today, but I need to get a letter from the uni office that's dated sort of within the last 2 months, they said, because I had one from the beginning of term but it's too long ago now, so I've got to get an updated one. So that's kind of priority number one really. I did phase 1 of admin and I'm rushing. I've got to go now. I've rocked up to the cafe, got myself a nice Alpro coconut cappuccino there, and I'm waiting for my toastie to come. Lunch has arrived. I've gone for a cheese toastie and some salad and crisps. Cafe visit is done. We were only about an hour in there today. We had things to get on with afterwards. So I'm back. I'm going to do more admin and then more practice. Part of my admin today was to check my uni email to see if there's anything I needed to do, and there was quite a few things. And one of the things is I've been given a list of deadlines, so I'm carefully putting them all in my paper diary and also my phone diary, which is linked to what I can access on my MacBook as well. So I'm just doing it via that. I've got my 2 screens on the go here, so just carefully transferring everything over and also putting all the information where I can access it on the way I do that, which is my Notion. Yeah, I've out of focus sticks, I don't want to show the details, but basically any sort of typewritten communications I get by email, I can literally copy and paste chunks into my own personal Notion that I use online to access information, which is all categorised and got categories and subcategories and all sorts of things, so I can find everything I need. And this is in my deadlines section at the moment. And then that's my like phone diary, as I call it, my Apple diary. And so I can literally put in the notes sections of all the things. I can copy and paste the chunks of info that's come directly from the horse's mouth, as it were. So yeah, I'm just doing that carefully now, so I can't possibly miss it. It's 3:15 now. I've been adminning. I had loads of stuff from the uni actually to go through carefully. A lot of it was just not relevant to me, but I've still got to go through it in case I miss something important. So I've done that. I've sorted out bits and bobs for my club that I've run, little teeny tiny little things that were just on my list to get done, and I've done them. So I'm at a point now where I'm going to go and make a cuppa and get down in the cellar and do stint 2 of my flute practice. So I've got to work up now my closed recital, which is going to be in May, early May, and there's like most of my marks are going to come from that. So it's a massive deal, and it's going to take hours and hours, weeks and months of practicing to get it together. So that's what this afternoon's about. Looking at my diary now, I've only really got about just slightly more than 3 months really, I think, of attending lectures, and then about another month where I'm mostly off. We've got 3 weeks off for the Easter. Is it followed by a study week? Oh, I can't quite remember now. There's a lot of weeks off where I study at home. So yeah, only really 3 months of lectures, and even that had a study week in it. So yeah, the end of this first year is kind of in sight already. It's really flying by, but I've been putting the details of all the individual lectures into my planner, and I'm getting excited for them all. They look very interesting. There's a lot of masterclasses to come, so I'm going to be watching other students, other classmates, having a private lesson on stage so we can all learn from them, basically, with a tutor, like a guest person coming in to teach them. One of the things I was doing just now was printing off the piano and flute part for this piece I'm going to do in a masterclass in a few weeks that I really need to polish up. And it's my intention as part of my practice now to listen very carefully to the recording and just get very familiar with how the piano part interacts with the flute part, because I've booked a pianist now. The uni will pay for it. It's part of my fees cover it. And we're going to have a rehearsal. It's not in the diary yet, but it'll be in the next few weeks. And I'm going to be playing with an actual pianist, accompanist. I can't believe it. I just feel so fortunate to be able to do that. I'm just going to make the most of every second. It's 4:15. This is a bit of an updatey telling you what I've just done kind of vlog today. It's just one of those days, isn't it, when I'm at home doing my normal stuff. Kettle's boiling. I've done 45 minutes of practice. I need to run through all my pieces, even if I just play through them once, because I've got a lesson coming up in a few days, and I haven't played most of my pieces since about the 14th of December or thereabouts, so I'm going to be in big trouble if I can't actually get from one end to the other of them. Well, you've seen how my life's gone. I've been busy. I am reheating some coffee that I brewed earlier, so I'm going to take that back down with me and just run through everything at the fastest speed that I can play it properly, which is probably going to be slower than it's meant to be, but that's fine, because it's better than drilling in mistakes, isn't it? And then tomorrow will be a new day, and hopefully I'll get a bit more time on them tomorrow, because I'm not going out anywhere meeting anybody tomorrow. And when I've done my fluting, I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a bit of decluttering. And while that is brewing, I'm going to do what I quite often do when the coffee's brewing or warming up or whatever it's doing, which is sort my dishwasher out. And I'm refusing to do this. This noodle bowl down there, I won't film it. It's my daughter's. It was in her room for God knows how many days, and it's got stuck dried on noodles, and I'm refusing to deal with it. She needs to get a chisel on it, I think. Oh my goodness, I am stunned. I didn't get very far with the dishes because the phone rang, and it was the Musicians Union. You know, I mentioned earlier I sent them a proof of thingy. Did I tell you I sent them a proof of thingy? Well, I did, a proof of student status. It was also generated through the student intranet. Actually, it was really easy to do. So initially I emailed the school office where I attend, and then I rummaged around looking for something else because I needed to pay this term's fees, or this semester's fees, this term's fees. I think it's in 3 chunks. Oh, I can't remember. Whatever was due. Something's due later in the week, so I thought, well, I'll pay that now. And I noticed it said proof of enrolment or whatever. I thought, oh, I'll have a look. And it turns out you just auto-generate it. So whatever date you auto-generate it, that date will be on the letter. Because the last time I looked at that was back in September. That's why I thought it wouldn't be up-to-date enough for the MU. But it is. And anyway, I found out why they're so strict. So she rang me up to take my payment, basically, or invite me to do it over the internet. So I said, I'll do it by card now on the phone if you don't mind. So I got it done. I said, oh, how much is it, by the way? Because I didn't even check. I was expecting a bit of a discount. So it's normally about, I'm not sure exactly, about 270, 275, something like that for the year. Which I pay in one chunk, or you could choose to pay monthly, but I just pay it all in one go. And no, it was £25 something, £25 something. I saved about 250 quid, and I was not expecting that. Then I'll have that next year as well, because I'm doing it over 2 years. And it's the same, you don't have to be a full-time student. Even if you're a part-time student, it's the same rate. So if you're studying and you're paying for MU, get yourself a discount. So there we are. Can't believe it. Oh, that's cheered me up. Usually that's a big chunk comes out every January, but not this year. Right, I better do some more practicing and then get on with decluttering before it's too late. Izzy's on the phone in the other room. She had a job interview today and she's waiting to hear if she's got it or not. She's supposed to hear about 7 p.m. and it's not 7 p.m, but she seems to be on the phone. And she seems to be having a tone of voice that she would use with somebody that she doesn't know very well. So I'm wondering if it could be them. I don't know. So I don't know if she's going to have some news in a minute. Oh, we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to do some decluttering shortly. I've been making a little decluttering list in my Notion here. This is just one bit of my Notion. This is my practical life stuff. I've also got a work section, a study section, book tracker actually, which is a bit fun. I just got that off another YouTuber the other day. Travel, life after the MA, little ideas I'm jotting down as they come up. Daydream, bucket list. Oh, Izzy's academic archive. We don't need that at the moment. Anyway, decluttering my house. So I've made some to-dos because I get so overwhelmed by things like this. But if I make an actionable list of steps that are actual things to do, it really helps me to start. As I've been getting ideas, I've just been putting this in either into my iPad or my MacBook or my phone or whatever, because it's all synced. Look up Notion if you're interested. It's completely free to use. It's web-based, but only you access it unless you share a link with somebody else specifically. So this is my to-do list. Put all packaging that I want to keep in a see-through bag in the loft, i.e. camera gear. So I've got like loads of lens boxes, camera boxes, things like that, because I've held on to them in case I ever want to sell them or part exchange them, sorry. So I want to keep the boxes, but there's no need for them to be in my space. Another thing, put all things I want to keep in the loft. Things that I don't use but I definitely want to keep. Could use some IKEA bags. Charity shop, some toys I got in a wardrobe. Charity shop, wooden blocks. See, I've kept toys for children and babies that might visit that I don't even have in my life anymore. And in my experience, people will bring their own toys with their own children or babies, so I really don't need to. And so on and so forth. I think I might start with the shredding, A, because it's the easiest, and B, because I need a new shredder really, because it gets hot and then it just stops working for a while until it's cooled down a bit. And once it gets like that, I can only do a bit and then do something else for a bit. So what I'll do is I'll set that up and then just do a bit and then start another task and then come back and do a bit more. Oh, you know what I mean. As I suspected, she's got the job. Thought she would. She's very pleased about this one. The one she had recently was a temporary one, just took her up to the end of sort of Christmas and into early January. It was retail, so that one's finished now. This next one is actually using the skills that she was working on her course last year, and it's what she loves to do. So yes, ding, she's very, very happy. Part-time, but it'll do. She's very happy with it for now. So yeah, there you are. I'm gonna blur it, but hey, I've started shredding. In you go. Okay, that didn't take very long to jam up. So let's start going through these boxes then. Quite a lot of these are boxes for tech, basically, that I may sell at some point. This is probably going to be one of these jobs that takes 2 minutes, including getting it in the loft, and I'll be wondering why I just didn't do it ages ago. Osmo Pocket 3 box. Oh no, you can see the extent of my obsession with cameras. Insta360 Ace Pro box. Stylus box. Oh, have I got actual nibs in there? I don't think I have. I think I've put them in my little drawer. Are they broken ones? They're all broken ones. Why have I kept that? I don't know. I don't know if I need to keep this box, you know. I probably don't. I'm going to chuck that. That's a wireless keyboard. I want that. Canon lens, 10 to 18 millimeter going in. Oh gosh, that's to do with a gimbal. I'm going to have to keep that out because if I do use it, I'll need that desktop tripod box. I don't need that. What's that lump in there? Part of it. Well, I'll save that bit. This can go in the bin, honestly. Why have I kept a tiny little cardboard box? That can go in the bin. What's this? Ooh, gimbal box. Yeah, I'll keep that because I probably will sell that one. What's this one? Don't even know, but it's covered in dust. Oh, tripod box. I'm never gonna sell that. I'll just bin that box. Oh good. We're looking a bit emptier now already, aren't we? There was a lead in that stylus box I didn't even know I had. Where do I keep that one? Is it this drawer? Yeah. Might as well put that gimbal in that case, I suppose. Get it out of the way, out of my drawers. I may well use it again one day with this big DSLR camera that I'm filming on right now. Maybe. It wasn't very good with my point and shoot, so I barely used it. I think it was just a bit too light for it. I wonder if this is working again now. Let's see, shall we? Have we cooled down? Yeah, yes we have. Woohoo! Right, they're bagged up and ready to go in the loft, and I've just put loads in the recycling. Really, it's just one of those things I just never get to start doing, you know. That's why that little actionable list is so handy for people like me that get a bit of task paralysis going on. Apparently my daughter is starving, so as soon as this is done I'm going to go and cook her some dinner. Well, and me as well, obviously. As you can probably imagine from that tossing there's not a lot of great organisation in my loft really. Most things are within reach of the hole, but not in any very well ordered way. I'm frying some green pepper, mushrooms, leek and kale, and I think that's everything. Darling daughter is starving, she says, but luckily this gnocchi cooks in 2 minutes. I'm going to throw some passata in it once it's cooked through, and some frozen veggie mince as well. I'm going to try the Tesco's own Plant Chef veggie mince. I don't know if it's like it always used to be. One of the very first veggie minces I ever had was Tesco's own, and that's going back decades now, and I did like it then. I don't know if it's the same. I'd be surprised if it was. I've added some passata, a bit of kettle water, some soy sauce, a stock cube and some mixed herbs, and I'm just letting that all sort of soften, and then I'll put the gnocchi on. Here's our dinner. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.